note to self, check on this afterward to see whether or not this reverses. But how's it going, everybody? This is R. Felix Finch, and I posted earlier on my R. Felix Finch Twitter a long, 20 tweet rant about just some things that have been frustrating me and going on, and kind of want to talk a little about that. Figured I would record my direct thoughts and just post them on YouTube, so you have my channel here. And hey, while you're here, subscribe. Once I get to 1,000, I can actually live stream from my phone instead of just having to record and put it up or go on Facebook Live. And I really wish I had that number now so I could kind of have an open conversation with whoever just shows up. But because I can't, I'll just kind of tell you where I was coming from. Right now, I'm at All Out I'm in StarCast in Chicago, going to be part of All Out as well. That should be a ton of fun. But, while I was trying to talk to Brian, tell him, I wanted to make a call to find out what I should put in the vlog, as he suggested maybe I vlog from here. And just judging by our video traffic and likes, dislikes, I was like, okay, great. Now let me try to figure out how to put me in the least amount of my adventures as possible. And that kind of hit me really hard, that despite being part of this channel since basically the beginning, if you go look at episode, I think it's 2 or 3, which is Strange Repackagings, I show up in that. The commercial one, the early commercial ones, I show up as, I don't show up, I'm actually operating the camera and some of that. I figured out how to do the video game thing and how to rip movies before we really got the technology to do it. I came up with the jury rig stuff. I've been part of this channel for a long time, and it's just kind of weird because every time I do kind of get something helmed, it gets shit on so bad that it ends up basically canceled or basically doing this. If you're wondering why I haven't had a takeover review on the proper channel, that's why, just because all of the negativity goes straight to Brian, and Brian's sweet about it. He's got a great heart, and he likes me. Again, we're friends, but he can only take so much. Even if it's aimed at me, it all goes through him. Anything that's filtered, and there is problems with my presentation. I'm not even gonna pretend that there's not. There are plenty of times where I flub lines with. Well, quite frequently I'll flub lines, even when it's written, or even if it's just something coming up with off the top of my head. It's just a function of how I think, and that does suck for presentation. I have to admit that. My hair and my septum piercing is also an often commented on thing, which, you know what? That's what you visually see. I don't mind. That's a valid criticism if you don't like that. If you say you're going to rip it out my nose, I'm still waiting for the person to take up that that offer. Because please, if you do see me, try. I would love to see what happens, as Brian will often say in things. But there's a shocking, disturbing number of people that go after me for my perceived race, what ethnicity they think I am, who go after me for them perceiving that I'm possibly homosexual or even trans or anything, not had any non-binary comments, which kind of surprises me. But hey, you know what? I don't think those that are so ignorant are woke enough as well to make those comments. It's really disheartening because you've seen this go around lately that wrestling is for everybody, and that's true. Although if you look at the YouTube wrestling space, it doesn't seem that way, because I love Steven Larson are my absolute favorites. I love the WrestleTalk guys. All of them: Luke, Owen, Luke, Ollie, El Fakador, even Chopper Pete Quinnell, who's there now. You look at Cold Hog, you see like Adam Pacitti, Jack the Jobber, King Ross. You look at What Culture, you've got Simon there. Even we got Brian, and then people he praises upon Biggs too. And Biggs is a great guy. I'm not throwing Biggs under the bus, but there's kind of a theme there. It's all middle-aged or younger white guys. There's not a lot of diversity in this space. I've got a Russian friend, Ksenia. She does again, there are exceptions. Like a friend, Ksenia, She is Russian and she does wrestling videos. There's Jess Watches Wrestling. I wish Karen did more stuff because Karen is very knowledgeable about the Japanese product, and I think she would be a wonderful addition to the YouTube wrestling space. And yeah, we've got like the Married Marks podcast, and we've got like Dave Knows Wrestling. Dave Lee, a guy that I like to take some credit for his success because I introduced him to Brian because I love Dave's stuff so much. Even he doesn't have the traction that the rest of the guys do. And I'm not saying that there's a race that, it's all racism, because clearly it's not. With YouTube, most of it is luck. But there is that element, and that element becomes very visible by looking at what we see in the comments. Even the stuff that gets filtered out, because remember, the stuff that I see is all back end. That means it's cleared the filter somehow, and there's still some horrible stuff. And again, like I said, that's disheartening. I'm not mad at the community. I'm disappointed because something about me. I was a WCW guy growing up. I loved watching WCW. Even Macho Man Hulk, DDP. I loved that product. That was what I watched mainly. I mean, I still watch some WWF for WrestleMania, but most of the time I was watching WCW if I had the choice. Until The Rock came around, and The Rock really changed things for me because he was, half black, half Islander. I didn't know that at the time. All I knew was that he kind of looked like me, and it was very cool to see someone that kind of looked like me in top positions of the company being taken seriously. Even in joking, everyone took him seriously. And that was a big one for me. It's one of the things where I always say, representation absolutely matters. And when we look at YouTube, we see a reflection that does not reflect the community. Go to a wrestling event, like, I'm at All Out. The diversity is outstanding. Even when I was at like WrestleMania, you're seeing people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, all different cultures, every shade of the rainbow. When it comes to hair, more literally every shade of the rainbow. It's very refreshing to see. You'll joke about it's all overweight white guys. Plenty of women watch wrestling, and not just because they're looking, not just because they think they're cute or because they're there with their significant others, but because it's storytelling, and we all love stories. It's the same thing behind movies. It's the same thing behind books. It's art, and it should be art that binds us. And wrestling fans, we get enough shit as it is. We are looked at as lesser for enjoying a lower form of art, which is just clearly not true. It's theater. It's high theater. It is theater, and it is ballet. It is performance. It is stunts. There's so much that wrestling is and should be enjoyed, and we should not be marginalizing our already marginalized group. That's the thing that blows my mind. Is if you're a wrestling fan, congratulations, you're already a freak, and you're gonna go out and say something about another fan. And I understand the internet hates change. That's the nature of it. Change sucks, no matter what. But I really want more people to get out there and kind of be the change in our wrestling community. I'm not trying to pull numbers away. I don't want to see WrestleTalk or Coldaholic or our subs go down at all. I want to see more content pop up. I want to see some brown guys talking about wrestling. I want to see some women talking about wrestling with an audience. Like, again, we're all out there. Everybody can make a channel. Look, I have less than 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel right now, which is why this isn't live. I know we've got it in us as a just global wrestling group to create absolute beauty and an absolutely just amazing reflection of how truly diverse our community is, of how truly welcoming our community is. Because face it, if you are cool with everybody, you're probably not commenting on these videos. You are being silently appreciative. But I think we need some positivity to drown out the assholes, because there are way too many assholes and they like saying what they're gonna say. In fact, I'm sure I'm gonna get some in this video. And if you are an asshole, thank you, because all of your interactions count as content. They count as clicks. So I appreciate it anyway. But that's kind of all I wanted to say about it. Just know that at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to a time when, I'm not a black wrestling fan, I'm not an Asian wrestling fan, I'm not a bisexual wrestling fan, I'm not a queer wrestling fan. I am just a wrestling fan, just like all of you. I want to be less special. Make me less special in this space, because right now I'm like the sole brown guy on pages with 100,000 plus followers. I think, I'm not talking about exclusively, because I do know that After Talk does, or After Buzz does have people who do it, but they cover more than just wrestling. I'm talking about wrestling exclusive channels, and again, I don't want to stand out, and I know you guys out there have the ability to make me not stand out. So that's my challenge to you. Go out there, create content, share what you love. Talk about wrestling with everybody. Don't assume a wrestling fan has to look a certain way. If people ask you what you like about, open with it. Talk about what you saw on Raw or NXT or AEW or New Japan or AAA. If they enjoy it, they will join in. If they don't, they might be curious and ask. Maybe you can create a new fan. And if they don't, no pressure. This is basic human interaction. Not everybody likes the same things, but everybody has the ability to be open-minded. So I appreciate you. This video is going about 12 minutes. And love you all. If you stuck around, please, again, click that subscribe button so I could do more cool things. If you are StarCast, come see me at the Smack Talk Showdown and cut a promo against me. I am shockingly good at promos despite stumbling on my words and flubbing them like I did by saying the word stumbling. Yeah, and also go check us out on Wrestling with Regret. I've written a bunch of stuff for it lately, and there's some really cool things coming out in the future. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, peace out, party peoples. Oh, and patreon.com/FriscoFlame. Or, hey, if you want to help me have an amazing StarCast, just slide into my DMs. Peace. Talk to you later.